Joseph Smitic.
At the welcome table one of these days.
Hallelujah.
I'm gonna sit at the welcome table. Sit at the welcome table one of these days. The hidden figures: Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, Mary Jackson. Strong, beautiful, intelligent black women derived the calculations needed to put the first American man in orbit in outer space. They built the table. But they watched as society deemed them unfit to take a seat at the table and enjoy the fruits of their labors. Henrietta Lacks. Her immortal cells were used to make insurmountable breakthroughs in the field of medical research. Her cells were used to make vaccines for polio and do research on AIDS and leukemia. Yes, her very flesh was used to build the table, but her own flesh and blood suffered for decades in poverty while people took a seat at the table and enjoyed the harvest that belonged to her. Many people like these have been perpetually building the table for centuries, but never quite get the opportunity to sit and eat. You see, the table is a social construct, often reserved for those who have both power and influence to make decisions and affect change. The table has become a symbol of power, negotiation, and credibility, through which one can forward their career, move and shake the systems that are in place, or even have a say in the outcomes of others. In other words, when one is provided with a seat at the table, it represents an opportunity to be heard and to make a difference. And as I look around in 2019, I think we need a seat at the table. With 998 unarmed people shot and killed by the police in 2018, we need a seat at the table. With our people suffering higher rates of diabetes, heart attack, and cancer than any other race in this country, while only 6% of the doctors in this country look like us, oh yes, we need a seat at the table. With our people only representing 12% of this country's population, yet being incarcerated 5 times more than our counterparts, oh yes, we need a seat at the table. African Americans spend $1.2 trillion in this country annually. Yet even with that buying power, we still only have 3 Fortune 500 CEOs. Now you tell me, do you think we need a seat at the table?
Period.
So as students at this HBCU, soon we will be able to take seats at the table that those who came before us never got the opportunity to sit in. But oftentimes, we don't realize the true value of these seats. Sometimes we forget. Sometimes I forget. Sometimes I forget how my mom worked 2 and 3 jobs to make sure that I got a good education, so that my options on the menu of opportunities would be limitless.
Wow.
Sometimes I forget that there is so much on my plate because my father worked in arenas where his counterparts called him everything but a child of God. And he did this so that my dreams wouldn't be starved like his were.
Wow.
Sometimes I forget the prayers that my grandparents prayed over me, that I would stay strong, that I would stay focused, that the cups of inequality they had to drink would pass from me. Sometimes I forget that Ruby Bridges was only 6 years old when she sat in her seat alone, while people stood outside wanting to eat her alive. Sometimes I forget, sometimes I forget, sometimes I forget, sometimes I forget. Sometimes I forget
Same.
that the people with the fewest options dared to have the biggest appetites. And I have the audacity to walk to class late on soil where men and women lost their lives for the opportunity to read and
Say
write.
that, Joseph. Say that.
So Oakwood,
Yes.
don't play with your food.
Joseph! Wow.
Don't play with your food.
Yes, sir.
Your seat at the table came with a price, so you best believe we better come with an appetite.
Hey!